Okay. Well, I mean, it's finished here. Dorking Wanderers have lost 4-3. Quite a remarkable game of football. Marc, I'll pass it all over to you, and you can tell us your thoughts on the game, the season, and kind of where we go from here, really.
Well, obviously, you know, congrats to Boreham on the win, as always, and grandstand stuff for them. Obviously, it's a game that we lost really as opposed to they won. I mean, we chucked away, we chucked away the game. I thought 11v11. I thought we was incredibly dominant. Seems a long time ago now, but we was extremely dominant. Then Brennan makes a bad choice. Passes back to Folksy, should take a touch, they score on a slight mistake. But we was really confident at 1-0 down half time. We were really dominant, so we just kept doing the right things. And obviously the red card for Jimmy's changed the game. Obviously he's devastated. This is why I'm always taking off players on yellows, because you run the gauntlet. So I'm obviously disappointed with Jimmy and for Jimmy because he's a really good lad. We can't afford to persecute him. But at 3-1 up, we should win the game. And the red obviously changes things significantly. And the red card is the reason that we lost the game. So. I mean, the boys have worked hard. They're the better team, and it's a bitter old pill, that one, to be fair, because I thought we was really comfortable and playing the better football. So that is where we are. But I've got to be fair. Even though we're down to 10, they haven't got a +1 in our box. It's still defending. I mean, obviously it's hard to. The legs have gone a lot. We had a sort of half decent shape behind the ball. We were frustrating them, but it's a little bit like when that first one went in. It was there for them. They took a quick corner near post. We got beset. So as much as all of our fans will say, look, the red card made the difference, and it did. It really did. We have to defend better in that situation. We've got enough bodies behind the ball. We've got to defend better. Folksy probably needs to be a little bit more aggressive off his line. They had a great chance at the far post just before they scored. So I thought if I'm being really honest, I thought the game epitomised the season. Finding failure from the clutches of success. There was Boreham weren't going to win that game of football. We've taken over the game at 2-1. We're 3-1 up. All goals a little bit scrappy, really, to a degree. We basically tossed it away, mate, tonight. That's where we are.
We've certainly played worse and won games this season, haven't we? I thought we were good tonight, and whatever the plans were, they seemed to be working in terms of the way we were playing tonight. Albeit with the 2 own goals, but at 3-1. And then there's familiar things that have happened in their late goals and a seemingly lack of kind of perhaps a bit of organisation or that calm kind of head to just get everything sort of set, or a bit of game management in terms of just being awareness, tired minds, tired bodies.
Yeah, it weren't easy. I was toying with just throwing on all the fresh legs, but when you've got a shape behind the ball, and they were just shifting and denying space, and then they just weren't quite aggressive enough. But in this situation today, being a playoff eliminator, obviously they threw the kitchen sink at us, and it was difficult. But I'll be honest, I think the red cards obviously changed the result. It was 2 yellows. And our defending had to be better in that last 10 minutes, albeit we was out on our legs a little bit, but looking at the players to take off, I wanted to keep the height on. I knew what was going to come, long throws, etc. So, but listen, that's where we are, and now I need to really just sort of, it's about that sucking it up part. I hope the fans have been absolutely incredible, and I like to stand and fall by what I've said, and I said I said I wanted to get 100 points, and
Yep.
people laughed. And we got 86
Yeah.
with no team for half a season. I made notes earlier. Brennan Camp dislocated his shoulder, 14 games. Josh Taylor, 16 games. Charlie Carter, 12 games. But it's all about controllables and non-controllables.
Yeah.
And, we ultimately were, 4 points off the title. Did the plethora of extraordinary issues, George Frankham's diabetes, did that cost us 4 points in the first half of the season? 100%. Did our performances cost us 4 points from the minute that we got to the summit and we had that brilliant spell?
Yeah.
Did that 100%. So I actually think it's a mixed bag in terms of like where we didn't reach our objective. I think there was a lot of things went against us that weren't controllable that I think would have made a difference. And I also think that when we had a chance to dominate the league, we didn't take that chance. So we have to accept that. But I'm very, very proud of the supporters.
Yep.
And our support's grown away from home to one of the best in every division now. Our home crowd as well. And on the field, we now need to, we've got our semi-final next week at the Surrey Senior.
Yep.
We're still going to be working until hopefully the final of that. And on the field, we need to work hard to, we think we've kind of mastered that physio department.
Okay.
You can see the availability now, it's very good.
Yep.
We need to probably master the S&C department. We're going to bring in a couple of boys, Max.
Okay.
A couple of
Players. Yeah.
Max.
Yeah.
One is pretty much done, and we need to deliver more next season. We need to deliver better cup runs, and we need to have a season where we dominate, where we try to dominate the division in what's going to be a really tough year. But all I would say is these leagues are bottlenecks, right? So from Eastbourne, Worthing, Torquay, Boreham, Maidstone, 4 of those are going to be having this conversation.
Yeah.
And next year, the teams that are coming down, whoever it might be, bloody Maidenhead, I don't know, Wilston, whoever it might be, Ebbsfleet, obviously,
Yeah.
it'll be the same situation then. It'll literally be the same situation then. Next season will also be a tough one, and you're going to have to be really good. But I'm proud of the club. I mean, we've been in this division 4 seasons, and we've never been out of the playoffs. We just need to lick our wounds, and we need to work really hard on the areas that we did control, and that was obviously seeing games out.
Yeah.
Because and it epitomised that tonight. Yes, we had a -1 player, but ultimately we had to see that game out.
Okay. One final sort of message for the fans for their support this season. I know you kind of touched on it there, and also kind of I expect there'll be sort of announcements perhaps over the next few weeks or a time perhaps with some farewells of some of the players. Maybe, I don't know, or
Yeah, I mean, like I said, really, we've got like 86 points, and we played with, several key players down for 4 months. So we have to look at this. We can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. There's some areas we really want to add to. But I think what we've seen all season is, away from home, like tonight, on the bigger pitches with grass on them, we've been excellent all season. I thought tonight we was excellent.
Yeah.
And ultimately, if you end up in the playoffs, you are at the mercy of, micro things like a player giving away a couple of silly yellow cards. It's so unlike Jimmy as well.
Yeah.
We were really comfortable, really, really comfortable. But it's those micro decisions, Alfie kicking the ball away, getting a yellow, them little micro decisions. It's been like that all season. So there was a lot we need to work on.
Yeah.
There's a lot we've already worked on that is a lot better, injuries, etc. We've got a fantastic squad. We've got brilliant brand new partners, OLBG. We've got lots of great news coming, and we just need to be really resilient and look forward to a better season next season. And I'm sure the fans will be, as always, right behind us. They have every right to be disappointed, but you've never got a God-given right to win. You've never got a God. We've got 86 points, 86 points. We were 3 points short of winning the league. And if you look at it in context, with all the challenges we had, it was a good effort. But everyone will look at it and go, yeah. But in that last 2 months, we could have won it and we could have done. So that's where we are. Congrats to Luke. I like Luke. I like Bournemouth behind the scenes. Apart from the whopper who kept talking to me during the game, but I hope they they carry on with their success. They're a good club. Put all the time and effort against it, and also say congratulations and good luck to all the other teams in the playoffs.
Yep.
It's their time now to go and have their moment. So we're going to lick our wounds. That's where we are.
Okay. All right, well, thanks very much, Mark, on behalf of myself and all the media team. Thank you for all the interviews and everything this season and the honesty. We will see you next week down at Meadowbank for the semi-final against Carl Shorten. We'll see you there.
Yeah,
Thank
cheers,
you, mate.
and cheers, James.
Thanks, Mark.
James for your stuff, and cheers for all the volunteers and all the staff. So cheers, mate.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.